It's Monday, December 20. This is the news on PBCJ. I'm Simone Absalom Gill. The Ministry of Health and Wellness is increasing its ability to test for COVID-19 infections with the pre-accreditation of 10 new testing facilities. The pre-accreditation has been done by the Jamaica National Agency for Accreditation, which is partnering with the ministry to assess the readiness of interested facilities to participate in the national COVID-19 response efforts. The advent of the COVID-19 pandemic has highlighted the need for universal access of medical services. The diversion of resources to combat the virus sometimes means that persons with non-COVID-19 ailments take a back seat. On Sunday, the Indian High Commission brought relief to several communities with free medical camp in Kingston. Marlon Samuels gives us the details.
Under- and uninsured patients in several communities across Kingston were able to access free health care and medication on Sunday. This was possible at medical camps organized by the Indian High Commission in Jamaica on Sunday, December 19, 2021.
India is celebrating 75 years of independence in 2021. So the High Commission of India thought that why not do something good for the Jamaican community. As you know, we have about 50 Indian doctors who are practicing in different parts of Jamaica. And we have the presence of at least 5 or 6 big pharmaceutical companies from India here in Jamaica. So we thought that we would ask them, request them to join us, and we could do several medical camps in Kingston and also in different parts of Jamaica where the common people could come and avail the services. This was important to increase the camaraderie between the Indian community in Jamaica and the Jamaican community, and also at another level to strengthen India-Jamaica relationship. As you know, India is called the pharmacy of the world, and India is also churning out quality doctors by the thousands every year. In fact, if you look at the US or in the UK, Indian doctors form the backbone of their medical community. In January this year, we had done 13 simultaneous medical camps across Jamaica in 9 parishes. But then we realized that we spread our resources too thin. So we thought that we would concentrate our resources and do 2 to 3 medical camps every month in different parishes of Jamaica so that maximum people can benefit from it.
3 medical camps were held for those in need in several underserved communities in Kingston. There was a steady stream of people in attendance at the free medical camps in Cassava Peace, Halfway Tree, and the Good Samaritan Inn to serve residents close to Heroes Circle and downtown Kingston.
We support every single opportunity that is given to advance and to care for the needy among us. So that's why we're here. And as you would see, the Good Samaritan Inn provides a number of services to the community. We have a feeding program, which happens 3 days per week. We have a full set-up outfitted clinic. We have a dental service that we have here as well, medical services, and yes, we are also a registered COVID site with the Ministry of Health. So, to the India High Commission and the Good Samaritan Inn, a partnership for life.
Doctors, pharmacists, dentists, and nurses were among the volunteers who gave their time to allow patients of all ages to get much-needed checkups and treatment.
Yeah, I sick with me ears, that's why I come here, and I have a bad leg. So I don't know. I get a letter from the doctor, so I'm going to try it if it will help me. Then if it helps me and you come back here again, I'll always come to whatever sickness I have. So I believe this will help me.
I come here the last time and the Indian doctor them was here, and I come with my knee. I usually feeling some pain in my knee. But when I come and the Indian doctor give me the painkiller and give me some other tablets, my knee feel better, I don't up anymore again. So I come back again with the paper that was in the box to tell him that I want, but that same medication because it was very good and it helped me a lot. And I love that. The Indian doctor is very good and I love that.
Today we have seen a lot of patients, more than 100 patients we have seen. Out of them, we have seen most of them they can't afford even a daily bread and butter, but they happy here. They come and get the service from us, and they also get some medication from us, and they got some tonics and they got some vitamins, they got some some high blood pressure tablets and this, because I just see some couple patients, they are so happy and they are really praising this moment because they are thanking God. So we want to celebrate this Christmas by giving something back to the community.
For the news on PBCJ, I am Marlon Samuels.
Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett is optimistic about the winter tourism season. In a statement, he said that 7,000 airline passengers who arrived at the Sangster International Airport in St. James on December 11 is a prelude of what is to come for the winter season. Citing the number of arrivals as a single-day record since the reopening of air travel on June 15, 2020, Minister Bartlett says tourism is rebounding and showing signs of its former strength. He says, quote, "We are progressing well on our path to recovery and expect to welcome approximately 1.5 million visitors this year," end quote. A total of 52 flights from commercial, charter and private aircraft landed at the Sangster International Airport on December 11. Minister Bartlett says not only does Jamaica remain open to travel, but it welcomes its visitors safely. Effective immediately, the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport is accepting applications for grants of $60,000 per individual. This as Portfolio Minister Olivia Grange has announced a special support package for members of the entertainment, culture and creative industries. The new $90 million package is double the $40 million that was originally announced. There are three main criteria. The beneficiary must be registered on the ministry's e-registry. Those who are not on the e-registry can register within a few minutes on the ministry's website. Additionally, the beneficiary must be a member of an established industry organization such as the JARIA or JAFTA and must either have an account with any Jamaican bank or an NCB prepaid MasterCard to facilitate payment of the grant. Mr. Grange is encouraging members of the sectors to go to the ministry's website at www.mcges.gov.jm and click ECI COVID-19 grant application to apply for the grants. The Census 2020 Crime Monitoring and Oversight Committee, CMOC, gave a status report last Friday, December 17. CMOC is an independent body made up of non-partisan stakeholders from civil society, the private sector and academia. They provide oversight of the efficacy and efficiency of the programs agreed through Jamaica's national census process. CMOC Chairman Lloyd Disnett Jr. reported that to date only 6 of the 26 targets due to have been completed by the end of December 2021 have been achieved. Mr. Distant says the committee is satisfied with the progress of the Jamaica Constabulary Force Transformation Program.
Some quite pleasing news that came up during the course of the meeting in relation to the ISO 9000 certification that is being pursued by the JCF. They recently completed their stage 1 audit, got through it with flying colors, and that of course augurs well for the anticipated certification that should come as a result of when they complete the stage 2 audit as well. So very good news on the transformation activities that are taking place within the JCF.
There were concerns, however, about the progress of the judiciary.
In relation to the judiciary, again, we continue to commend the work that's being done by the Chief Justice in tracking and reporting on the progress in the parish courts, the Supreme Court, as well as the Appellate Court. Supreme Court, results for the Supreme Court continue to be of concern. He has flagged that, so we continue to monitor the actions that he'll be taking in relation to improving the output of the Supreme Court.
We go to the business desk for the latest market updates with Gabriel Thompson.
In foreign exchange trading for Friday, December 17, the US dollar sold for an average $154.65. The Canadian dollar ended trading at $121.05. The pound sterling traded for $207.13, and the euro sold for an average $176.78. In Friday's trading session, the JSE combined index advanced by 400 points to close at under 400,000 units. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 95 stocks, of which 42 advanced, 34 declined, and 19 traded firm. The junior market index declined by 26 points to close at over 3,000 units. Stocks advanced for 1834 Investments Limited, CSE 2000 9.5% preference shares, and Caribbean Assurance Brokers Limited. Stocks declined for 138 Student Living Jamaica Limited, Access Financial Services Limited, and Barita Investments Limited. Trading firm were CAC 2000 Limited, Caribbean Cement Company Limited, and Elite Diagnostic Limited. Lumber Depot Limited was the volume leader with 13.8 million units, followed by Wigton Wind Farm Limited ordinary shares with 4.2 million units, and Kingston Wharves Limited with over 2 million units. In market data for oil, prices slumped more than 3% on Monday as surging cases of the Omicron coronavirus variant in Europe and the United States stoked investor worries that new mobility restrictions to combat its spread could hit fuel demand. Brent crude futures fell $2.42 or 3.2% to $71.10 a barrel. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were down $2.79 or 3.9% at $68.07 a barrel. Before we go, here are quick updates from the Jamaica Stock Exchange's News Bulletin. Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited says the resignation of Mr. John Bell from the Board of Directors on December 3 is not related to any disagreement in respect of accounting principles or practices, financial statement disclosure, or any other material issue impacting on the Audit Committee or Mr. Bell's ability to properly carry out the functions delegated to him by the Board. In a revised statement, the company says it values the contribution of Mr. Bell on the board and its audit committee during his tenure. The 2021 annual general meeting of Wigton Wind Farm Limited will be held virtually on Wednesday, January 12, 2022. Shareholders can register to participate and vote by using the registration link on the JSE's website. Registration will begin on Wednesday, December 22. And Pan Jam Investment Limited has declared a special interim dividend of 28.5 cents per share payable on January 19, 2022 to shareholders on record as at close of business on January 4, 2022. And on that note, we close this Monday edition of the Business Report Inside the News on PBCJ. I'm Gabrielle Thompson. Pleasant viewing.
Here are some stories being tracked across the region. Come mid-January, the government of Trinidad and Tobago will require public servants and those in state enterprises to be vaccinated against COVID-19. The announcement was made by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley during a media conference on the weekend.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said the government will attempt to encourage and increase the level of vaccination in Trinidad and Tobago.
But the government's workplace is going to change. It is the intention of the government, come mid-January, to insist that the government's workplace would require vaccinated workers.
He said measures will be put in place to identify and verify the vaccination status of government workers.
And persons who are not prepared or for reasons other than medically certified reasons, because there are people for whom the vaccination is not recommended by the healthcare giver, the doctors, and such persons will most properly be exempted. But outside of that, the government's workplace will require, if you are a government employee, that you show your vaccination status, failing which you would.
There will be consequences for those who do not comply with this new policy.
if you are a government employee, that you show your vaccination status, failing which you would not be encouraged in the workplace. And if you are not in a position to come to the workplace, you would be on leave on your own and you would be furloughed. Meaning that you will still have a job on the establishment, but you choosing not to be able to come to work under the conditions laid down, that you will then not be paid.
The Prime Minister also announced that the public service will be shut down from December 24th to January 2nd. This does not include essential services. He urged government workers to use this time to get vaccinated. According to the Minister of Health, some healthcare workers will be utilized to administer vaccines as they anticipate a high turnout for vaccinations.
Director of the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, Dr. Chris Etienne, is calling on member states to prepare to deploy new pharmaceutical drugs being developed to combat COVID-19. She was speaking at a recent media brief.
Although it is encouraging that some companies developing novel COVID-19 antivirals have pledged to make their products available at affordable prices in the world's poorest countries, we worry that many of the countries that have been hardest hit by COVID, including many countries in our region, do not qualify for these pledges. Without additional support, our countries, many of them, will be left behind.
Dr. Etienne says approximately 56% of people in Caribbean, Latin America, are fully vaccinated against the virus. She says as new treatments gain final approvals, countries and companies must collaborate to ensure that everyone benefits in a timely manner.
As we've seen with COVID vaccines, procurement and supply can be major barriers and keep innovation out of reach for those who need it most. So we cannot and must not let history repeat itself. And that's why we need to start working now to expand production capacity for these life-saving tools, including in our own region.
In the Bahamas, an investigation has been launched at the Bahamas Public Parks and Beaches Authority after an audit found massive overspending, poor record keeping, and irregularities with the issuance of contracts under the last board. As a result, all contracts have been cancelled. Kyle Walkin reports.
From July 2020 to June 2021, the authority's expenditure skyrocketed. They were granted a budget of $15.2 million, but in fact spent $28.9 million.
Allegations of massive overspending surfacing after an audit by K. Christie & Co. examined the internal controls and operational review of the Public Parks and Beaches Authority. The firm also looked at the period June 2020 to September 2021 and found a number of weaknesses, including board meetings not being held, no monthly reporting, VAT returns not filed, duplication of contracts, and internal audits not done. During the weekly press conference at the Office of the Prime Minister today, Press Secretary Clint Watson said this.
Multiple contracts have been issued to individuals using different company names. These individuals have anywhere from 1 to 10 contracts, some of them totaling hundreds of thousands of dollars.
St. Barnabas MP Shannon Don Cartwright served as chairman during this period. The audit noted some inconsistencies with his signature and the possibility that it could be someone else signing on his behalf.
Without having had them examined by experts, to the casual observer, it appears that the chairman's signature was signed by 3 different people. If this is the case, it raises a question of who were these people and how did they come to be in position to sign those contracts.
The audit also found that there are presently no written policies and procedures to govern the financial operations of the Accounts Department and contract processing. The entire Accounts Department consists of 1 senior accountant who, while diligent at the post, does not hold professional qualifications. The audit also included findings Watson described as shocking.
1 road sweeper was paid $17,000 to sweep roads just 3 times a month, using an electric sweeper. This particular contract paid the contractor $775 per mile.
According to the audit, nearly 90% of the people or companies who received contracts did not have certain things like a passport, NIB information, or other documents to confirm who they are. And now all contracts have been canceled. But Watson says those with a valid legal contract will be paid.
Every contractor will be required to attend in person at a venue to be announced shortly and provide the basic KYC documentation for the maintenance of proper internal records of the authority.
Executive Chairman Mikel Bonamy wouldn't say whether police would get involved, but he indicated that investigations are underway.
What we are doing now is going through the report. The report will be laid before the board. The board will make some decisions and some instructions will be carried out as a result of our meeting. And so we're working around the clock, but we don't want to get ahead of any investigations, as Clint said in his statement. And so that's something that we're going to consider.
With all contracts now canceled, Bonamy explained that the audit was not political, but necessary to get the authority in order.
One of the things we wanted the Bahamian people to understand is that it's not a political process, and this is why I made the case that we need to pay everyone. As long as they can prove that they have a valid contract and that the work was carried out, they will be paid.
We have made repeated attempts to reach former Executive Chairman Cartwright. However, our calls and messages were not answered up to airtime. For Our News, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
In Grenada, Agriculture and Fisheries Senator Roderick St. Clair is asking the government, where is the plan for food security? He says targeted plans must be outlined for the country. More details in this report.
Senator Roderick St. Clair says he's left wondering if food security needs to become an even more dire issue for serious and real action taken to finally address the issue. While calling for a national committee on food security, Senator St. Clair notes that the Sustainable Development Plan purported to drive government's budget already speaks to what needs to be done.
Because the 2015-2030 National Agriculture Plan lay out the thing in such a way that it even give you an implementation matrix. I was shocked. I said, but wait. Down to the implementation matrix as to what to be done by when. For each of the different things, for food security, for export, for agro-processing. So then when I look at the Ministry of Agriculture plan, I look at the Fisheries plan, I wonder, well, what is the connection? Have they been reading this thing?
The senator says the government has broadly stated that the 2035 plan is included in their strategies and programs. It is found lacking in the actual documents.
So the impact that you want, we'll just keep wasting the money again. And then we say public servants, they don't get in output. But we tie up the thing. We tie it up.
Senator St. Clair says targeted food security plans within the budget must be the focus.
You may say, okay, these are the areas of focus. Poultry, pigs, beekeeping. You take 4 or 5 and say, this is what's going to fit in within our security plan. And then you get the GDB to coordinate that. You get the Ministry of Agriculture to provide the support and you connect them to the market. 5 or 6 stakeholders, it could be done. So the government, so the GDP know the money is not wasted. The government know the money is not wasted. You know where they are selling, and there is that whole holistic network.
The Agriculture Centre impresses that building resilience via increased investments in the sector involving the diaspora is also covered in the 2035 agenda.
How do we get the diaspora to do all this funding and all these things? And so yesterday I hear my dear Senator sister speak about the diaspora. But I think that needs to come out more. And if it's not on the agenda, then we need to pull it out. Because why is that 2035 plan? Certain things you could do now. Don't leave it for later. Let's do it now. Because you'll create this sort of impact that you need downstream.
The Senator has called for more detailed planning involving the 2035 Sustainable Development Agenda, while ensuring the public is made more aware of what the plan entails. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
In sports, the Royal Jamaica Yacht Club recently staged the 10th Latvian Independence Regatta 2021. The Consulate of the Republic of Latvia and Jamaica hosted the 10th Latvian Independence Regatta 2021 on December 11 and 12 to commemorate the National Day of the Republic of Latvia. This was the all-comers yacht race. Here are some details.
So the Jamaica Olympic Association travels across borders in establishing friendships. Latvia will offer, and we will offer, because that is part of sport. And I look forward to a very robust relationship as we seek mutual success, not only at the Olympic stage, but beyond the Olympics.
And that's our package. You've just watched the news on PBCJ, the People's Station.